never be a memory.
And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. Y'all all to the side. Let me adjust y'all motherfuckers. Okay. We're back. So, yeah, it's been an interesting couple days. And we still been getting some of this Yang CNN vibe, right? I should have been much more adjusted for this. Please forgive me. And Yang had said some interesting things in the last couple days that I wanted to talk about and get your take on. How do you feel about it? So, if you've clicked on this video, you've seen the thumbnail. Obviously, if you've been following Yang, you've seen that Yang had said something quite interesting. He said, one of the Dems running needs to pull an Andrew Yang and quit the race. So, wow. Big statement. Big talk. Big statement. And so I'm just curious if you guys agree. Do you disagree? Do you think somebody needs to drop out? Let's just talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the math. Now, none of us wanted Andrew Yang to drop out. None of us. And a lot of us were quite heartbroken when he did. Correct? But he did the math, and he said, look, I see no path to victory. So I'm dropping out. I don't want to keep taking everybody's money. It just doesn't feel right. Now, the Yang Gang said, we don't hear that shit. We don't hear you. Huh? You dropped out? No? Huh? We're still going to write you in. So, but Yang himself did the math. He clearly sees, for most of the Dems, there's no path to victory. And that they should consolidate, for one Democrat. Now, we all know that they are hypocrites and up to their neck in bullshit. Like, they don't want Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is the clear front runner. Like him or hate him, agree with his policies or not, democratically and fairly, he's winning. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. But they don't like that, obviously. And so they have a plan to try to win via superdelegates if Bernie gets a plurality and not a majority, which they're trying to say, look, you didn't get a majority. So majority of the people didn't vote for you, so the establishment should be able to choose who gets it. Yeah, but the rest of you got even less votes than the person that got the plurality. That doesn't make any sense. So you're trying to say, yeah, you got more votes than us, but you didn't get the most votes via the people, so let's choose it. But that means everybody else got even less, so give it to the person with less? It just doesn't make any sense. On top of that, a lot of them were bitching and moaning when Donald Trump won via Electoral College and Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes than him. And they were all saying, and I played it, and I'll play it again.
In 2016, nearly 3 million more people voted for Hillary Clinton than for Donald Trump. But Trump took the presidency. That is not exactly the sign of a healthy democracy. Democracy hangs on the idea that whoever gets the most votes wins.
They were all saying, the person with the most votes should be the winner. What the hell? Now they're saying, yeah, no, we should just, let it play out and, let the system work its way. But Andrew Yang is saying, look, some of you motherfuckers need to drop out. So I actually have a clip here I'm going to play for you, and then we're going to come back.
The rest of the field needs to consolidate, ideally, and each candidate wants to be the last person standing to absorb the non-Bernie energy. The problem for Bernie is that, he's unlikely to get an outright majority of delegates heading into the convention, which is going to set the stage for the superdelegates to emerge. And then you're looking at a contested convention, which is also the dream scenario for all of the other non-Bernie candidates, because they're going to go in there with delegates. The superdelegates, let's say, are not going to be favorably disposed towards Bernie, and then each of the remaining candidates will say, I'm the pick. So that's the dream that's going to keep every other candidate in the race.
But
Or the
I think what
nightmare.
Andrew's trying to say is everybody needs to just drop out, which is a little bit true. The reality is we've now had 3 contests in which none of the other moderate candidates have been able to consolidate enough support to even really get that close to Bernie. I mean, looking at Nevada, this is a real blowout that we're seeing here. And it's a problem for all of these other candidates because one or more of them need to figure out, probably more in the vicinity of probably 2 or 3.
I was going to say,
figure out who's going to be the one to step back.
someone needs to pull an Andrew Yang. Like, I've done the math. I'm not going to win.
There's no road forward.
How hard is that? How hard is that for a candidate to have a conversation with himself or herself and her staff and say, okay.
That's why you have to hire Andrew Yang to do the math for them.
It's not gonna happen. I think it's gonna get nasty. Well, you can answer that then.
Well, it's tough going in both directions, Gloria, because we were talking about if you have a bad night and you get up in front of a crowd and be like, it was a great night. You know, I mean, like on some level, it does ring hollow. It's hard to continue beating that drum. So it's hard to drop out, but in some cases, it's hard to keep going.
So Yang said on Saturday, at least one more Democrat still seeking the White House needs to pull in Andrew Yang and drop out of the race. Yang made these comments during an appearance on CNN, and it came after Bernie Sanders won the Nevada caucus. And I don't mean won. He decimated in the Nevada caucus and made history because no president ever or nobody running ever has won all 3 of the first states in the popular vote. Bernie Sanders won the popular vote in all 3 states. So essentially he made history. You're probably not going to find the news media talking about it too much, but you'll see it on a lot of left-wing and lefty channels. Whether you like Bernie or not, it is something noteworthy. It's never happened before. Kind of just made history. But Yang said the remaining field ought to consolidate, all right, but acknowledge that each candidate wants to be the last person standing to absorb the non-Bernie energy. So essentially, especially the centrists, they're all sharing the vote with each other. And if most of the centrists were to drop out, you'd have sort of one super centrist, essentially. Now, understand, that's not really how voting works. For instance, Joe Biden is a moderate. He's not a progressive in any way, shape, or form. But most of Joe Biden's number 2 choices, people that vote for Joe Biden, the number 2 is Bernie Sanders. So it's not like some Voltron-esque scenario where if they all get together and throw a cape on and stand on each other's shoulders and they'll become one super moderate or super centrist. That's not really how it works. However, if they all drop out, if Klobuchar drops out, it is likely a vast majority of them will go to a Pete Buttigieg and vice versa. And if they can consolidate, they can go against a Sanders, so to speak. I guess the establishment or the media would tell you to do that for Bloomberg right now because he's really viewed as, the number 2, essentially. He's bought his way to number 2. And that's what Yang is saying. If you want to stand any chance, any iota of a chance against Bernie, motherfuckers are going to start dropping out. But they're hard-headed. And what they want to happen is they want to go on a Super Tuesday and, they want to take as many delegates away from Bernie so he doesn't hit that threshold and then have the winner essentially picked by the establishment but not picked by the people. So, look, Yang's right, but I'm sorry, Yang, they're just not going to do that. They're not. Because here's the difference between you and them. You, my friend, are an honest actor, and you're strategic, and you believe in democracy. They don't. That's why I've always wondered, it was always weird to me when people were saying, Bernie's divisive. He's divisive in the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has always been divisive. Always. Did you see how they treated Andrew Yang? Did you see how they treated Yang? They put Bloomberg in there because he gave him $1 million in the debate. Andrew Yang made his complaint to try to get on the debate stage. You're like, oh, we don't fucking hear what you're saying. Divisive? Listen, let's just be honest. The Democratic Party right now is bought, rank corporatists who don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They're Republican light. So to call, Sanders divisive because he simply doesn't fall in line with them is just untrue. He's not divisive. He's just not a sheep. Now, do I think he's going to get even a third of the shit he wants to get done? No. No. But, that whole divisive bullshit, who the fuck likes the Democratic Party? Like, who really likes the Democratic Party right now? Think about it. Stop. How many times have you gone into the comment section of anybody's videos, me, Paget's, anybody's, and see that people are saying, look, I don't even vote Dem. The only reason I'm voting Dem is because Andrew Yang's running. So many people are like, fuck the Democrats. The only reason I'm even voting Democrat is because of Andrew Yang, full stop. You know why people say that? Because the Democratic Party has gone to shit. It didn't start going to shit when Bernie Sanders entered. It's been going to shit. So they have this plan. Even though Yang is giving them sound advice, they're not going to listen to it. Even though nobody else has a path to victory, they're going to go full on all the way. All the way to the end in an attempt to do a screw job. In an attempt to do a Vince McMahon, Bret Hart screw job. I'll go on. Yang stated that Sanders was unlikely to get a majority going into the convention, setting the stage for the superdelegates to emerge and risk a contested election. Someone needs to pull an Andrew Yang and be like, I've done the math, I'm not going to win. Yang also goes on to say that a contested convention is a dream scenario for the rest of the Democratic field because they're going to go in there with delegates. The superdelegates, let's say, are not going to be favorably disposed towards Bernie Sanders. I wonder why. And each of the remaining candidates will say, like, I'm the pick, even though I got the least amount of votes. So that's the dream that's going to keep every other candidate in the race. To become the nominee for president on the first ballot of the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee this July, a candidate needs to be nominated by a majority of the pledged delegates attending. The National Convention delegates come from all 50 states plus Washington, D.C., each U.S. territory, and Democrats abroad. Pledged delegates are expected to vote for particular candidates on the convention on the first ballot. Unpledged delegates, also known as superdelegates, can vote on the first ballot only if it is mathematically impossible for them to change the outcome of the pledged delegates' vote. But if no candidate wins a majority on the first ballot, the superdelegates can vote on subsequent ballots, and the pledged delegates are free to vote for whoever they wish. Yang rose from obscurity to become a highly viable Democratic candidate, rallying a coalition of liberal Democrats, libertarians, and disaffected Republicans into a devoted group of followers known as the Yang Gang. So, look, I don't know. You guys tell me what do you think is going to happen. Because here's my theory. If this goes into a contested convention, and for some reason they pick somebody else, besides Sanders, that's it. The Dem party's kaput. You can go in the comment section and say Bloomberg, all you fucking want. But he has the personality of a hairpin. This is it. If you do a contested convention, that's it for the Dem party for a very long time, unless Andrew Yang runs in 2024. That's it. So you got to ask yourself, are they willing to burn the house down? And I think they are. I think they dislike Sanders and what he represents. Because again, he's not going to get even a third of the shit done that he wants to get done. Like, would he be able to legalize marijuana? Full stop. Yeah, he can honestly do that full day. He has that ability. Is he going to get Medicare for all in? Probably not. Is he going to get free college? Probably not. Could he do things like, make elementary schools not have fucking student debt? Like, elementary students shouldn't have student debt? Yeah, he can probably get some shit done like that. But, half a third of the shit that he's talking about, he's not going to get done. Not that he doesn't believe in it, because I genuinely believe that he believes in it. It's just in the field that we're playing in, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to get rid of private insurance, full stop. That's just not going to happen. And I'm not saying the healthcare system is great. It's actually fucking horrid. But you're way left in your healthcare plan than any of the other left countries. Like yours is more left than Australia. It's more left than the UK. It's not going to happen. And I don't think he's a bad guy. And I see that he's aiming real high and hoping to get in the middle. But they don't even like what he represents. They'd rather have a Donald Trump and keep a stop Trump, fuck Trump campaign, shit on Trump campaign for another 4 years than to even look at Bernie Sanders. And look, I know a lot of the Yang Gang has said that, some Sanders supporters are toxic, and I know the media is running with that too. But people shouldn't be voting for the person based on how their fucking followers are. You vote based on ideology. And it seems a lot of people are digging Sanders. But they will burn the fucking house down, man. I know they will burn. The Democratic Party will burn the house down. That's why when people talk about unity and divisiveness, the Democratic Party don't give a fuck about us. They just give us a little bit of sprinkle of stuff, and it's like the carrot on a string. That's all. The best chance we fucking had was Andrew Yang. The best chance we had was Andrew Yang. I'll say it again, the best chance we had was Andrew Yang. But again, they fucked up too because they didn't take him serious. The guy had all the fucking answers, and you're not even taking him serious right now. He's literally he's giving you the game plan. Dude is on CNN giving you the strategy. Like, yo, some of y'all need to drop the fuck out if you want a chance against Sanders. But they want this dream scenario. And they're just being fucking hard-headed, like they've been being the entire time. And I don't blame the voters for why Andrew Yang didn't get in, for why Andrew Yang didn't become POTUS. I don't blame the voters because not enough voters knew who the fuck he was. Which is why I'm okay with his, CNN commentary position, because he'll be in the people's eyes. They'll get accustomed to him. And then in 4 years, they could be like, oh, Andrew Yang's running? Yeah, I know Yang from CNN. Yeah, absolutely. I love that guy. Let's fucking vote for Yang. So I look at it as strategic. I know there's some people that are still on the fence about it. For the first 2 days, I was on the fence, but this is strategy. But this dude's been dropping knowledge and hints. And motherfuckers don't know what's good for them. They really don't. Somebody could really give Bernie a run for his money if they consolidated around another centrist candidate. If they consolidated around a centrist candidate. Look, Bloomberg is dangerous. Bloomberg could beat a Bernie if he can get enough centrists to consolidate around him. And I can go into a whole nother video. If you're African American and you're voting for Bloomberg, I can go on a fucking rant right now, and I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go down that road. But you need to take a good look in the mirror. But Bloomberg has a shot. He has a shot. But as it stands right now, nobody's consolidating around a centrist candidate. They're all splitting the fucking vote, essentially. For the most part. Again, not everybody is just going to vote for a centrist as their number two. If you look at how people vote, Joe Biden supporters, their number two is Bernie, etc. So, it's complicated. But stop being hard-headed and listen to what Andrew Yang is saying. It's for your own benefit. You didn't listen to him before. He didn't become POTUS. At least listen to him now. So, that's all I have for you today. We have another Democratic debate coming up that should be interesting. I believe it's tomorrow. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. I'll probably talk about it just like I did in the last one, a quick analysis. Talk about Yang's commentary. I'm pretty sure he's going to be commentating on that. Is he going to be Let me know in the comment section if Yang's going to be speaking on that debate coming up. So if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. I have a Cash App, a PayPal, and a Venmo. The links are in the description below. Please feel free to donate. Every little bit helps. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying